Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery in our shooting center today. I've got a brand new bow here we wanted to tell you about. This is the PSE Shootdown Pro. So I've got it set up in a target configuration. I'm gonna call this bow a hybrid. I'll tell you why in a little bit. But we told you about the PSE Dominator Duo last year. That was their new target bow they came out with last summer. This is sort of the companion to that. PSE always has a couple different platforms in their lineup, especially in their target lineup, you know, for different things, indoor versus 3D, field, FIDA, whatever folks are shooting. They want to have a couple different platforms there. So I set this up, put it through the paces. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. Going to tell you a little bit about some of the results that I got when I did some testing with it. So let's get into the overview of the PSE Shootdown Pro. All right, so PSE Shootdown Pro, what are we looking at here? First off, we are looking at a 36-inch axle-to-axle bow. And that is the only length that it comes in. Dominator Duo, we had several different lengths. This one is just one. The weight of this bow, bare with nothing on it, with the SE2 cam, this is coming in at 4.7 pounds. And one of the things that you're going to notice, or one of the things that struck me right off the bat, is this riser shape. You can see how vertical it is. Oftentimes we see with PSE target bows, we're kind of going to have a deflexed handle on it. You know, depending on where it sits at the pivot point, that varies from bow to bow, but usually PSE, we see a deflexed handle. That is, the handle is kicked forward of the rest of the riser. But you can see there, as I hold that up, this is a very vertical bow. So that gives it a unique feel. Something else that you're also going to notice, again, just looking at the bow, is for a target bow from PSE, we don't quite have those vertical limbs. So what are we getting at here? As I mentioned, hybrid bow. What PSE intends for this bow is available in target colors. You can see it here. It's also going to be available in camouflage because PSE wants to see folks hunting with this bow. This is going to be a bow that's going to be super for crossover if you like to shoot 3D, and you can hunt with it as well. That's one of the main purposes PSE wants this bow to serve, and it is capable of producing those bow hunting speeds. But you're going to be able to set this bow up in a variety of ways because there are 4 cam options with this bow. Your total draw length range across all of the cams is going to be 25 inches to 33.5 inches, but that's going to come in 4 cams. I have here the SE2 cam on my bow. That is the slowest cam, so this bow tends to be the most forgiving. It has the most comfortable draw cycle. Then you are going to have, I'll go to the other end of the spectrum, you're going to have the E cam. That's going to be the cam that's going to get you up to 33.5. So if you're a long draw archer, you're going to want that E2 cam. The M2 cam is going to be the cam that you're going to want if you have that super short draw length. If you're in the 25, 26 inch range, you're going to opt for the M2. So that leaves the S2 cam, and that is the speed cam. That's going to be your cam that's going to be rated up to the fastest speed, 345 feet per second. That is screaming fast. Again, your S2 cam is going to give you those fastest speeds. So, as I said, you got those 4 options there. However, whatever performance you want, whatever draw length you want, you're going to factor those in as you choose your cams for this bow. Your draw weight range total is going to be peak draw weight of 40 pounds up to 70 pounds. There's going to be 40, 50, 60, 70 peak draw weights. Those are your options. So the SE2 cam, that's what I have here. This is what I notice is this is super comfortable, nice draw cycle, holds well at the back end. Also going to be able to pick out your let off on your module. There are two different versions. There's a high let-off module, that's probably what you bow hunters are gonna want, that you can adjust 80, 85, 90%. Then there is a lower let-off model, which is what I have here, that's gonna allow you to adjust between 65, 70, 75%. Obviously in a target format, I want a little more holding weight. I don't want that super high let-off. I have it set at 75%. So now, what is new across all the cam systems here is this has PSE's new 220 Easy Spacer System. So that's a simple way for you to be able to move this cam left and right without having to remove the axle. PSE came up with these Easy 220 spacers. They basically clip in and clip out. To be able to move the cam, you do have to put it in a press, but then it's super simple for you to just pull out a spacer, put in a new one, shift that cam to where you want it, and put the spacers back in. The spacers are foolproof because they come in a set. There's going to be 6 different sizes. All you want to do is match up any two that come out to a total measurement of 0.220 inches. That's why they call it the Easy 220 spacer system. As long as you have any combination that gives you that 0.220, then you know you have the correct distance here in your axle for that cam to be in the right position. Again, super simple. It just minimizes the amount of tear down time you have to get that cam to where you need it as you're doing your tuning. It's just simple. Pop it out, pop the new spacer back in. Now, I will also tell you that in this axle and cam system is PSE has a tube in here. It's inside the limb tip and it sits up against the spacer. Basically what it's preventing you from doing is you've got your screws on the end here that hold the axle in place. It prevents you from over tightening so that you're not squishing all this together and putting undue pressure on those cam bearings. So the system that PSE has in there prevents that. You can't over tighten it. You're not going to crush those cam bearings. Another good development PSE came out with. So coming down here, we have PSE's limb vise pocket system. Essentially, what matters to you is this pocket is not going to move. Once your bow is set up, this pocket stays where it is. That's the limb vise pocket system. Now, coming down the bow, we get into several cool new features here. So at the rest, you can see that I have the Hamskea Epsilon rest with the special core mount. What that means is that's a special mount Hamskea has. You see there is no arm coming off the side here. There's a plate that Hamskea has that you mount onto this bow. What you need on the bow are 2 drilled holes to receive the screws to mount the plate. Those holes are on here. So what else is on here is machining into the riser to accept any of those integrate style rests. They're going to clamp onto that dovetail again, so you eliminate the need for an arm. But then we do have twin burger holes here. So if you have a rest that needs the arm on the outside, you can mount that as well. Basically, this allows you to mount any rest on the market you can put on the Shootdown Pro. On the front, you can see these threaded holes right here. So that's going to allow you to mount a Picatinny rail to the front of this bow. If your bow sight is one of those that mounts onto a Picatinny rail, you can attach that rail to the front here so that you can mount your sight that way. Or of course, we have the old standard threaded holes on the side of the riser so you can mount a rest in this fashion. Coming down, we do have a new grip from PSE. This is called the traction grip. It's a rubbery material there. It feels good in your hand. Generally, I tend to not like these rubber grips on a target bow, but I wanted to shoot with this one just to see what it feels like, and I kind of like it. It's the shape of it, it promotes proper hand placement position. That's usually what I don't like. I feel like my hand is kind of out of place. With this grip, it felt good, so I left it on there. However, if you want, this grip does pop off. You can peel that off, and there's a finished riser underneath that's going to be nice and slim and narrow. If you prefer that setup, you can do that as well. But the traction grip, I kind of like this grip. Now, this bow, one of the things that I really liked about it is it has PSE's proprietary, what they call full draw stabilization system. It's a proprietary way that they, when you come to full draw, this bow resists torque. Now, I am notorious for torque at full draw, especially when I get tired. I've noticed this with many other bows. As soon as I start getting tired, I start seeing the tail of the arrow kick. So I didn't know what it was at first. I started paper tuning at 10 yards, and I could see, I set this up with a paper tune up close distance. When I'm first setting it up, I get a bullet hole. What I noticed when I started seeing that kick, I started paper tuning at 10 yards, and then I noticed I was torquing. What I'm doing is I am pushing the bow this way. I'm tending to twist it this way, pushing pressure out on that side. With this bow, I did notice when it comes to full draw, it just fights that. It does not allow me to put that torque in that I usually put, especially when I get tired. So that full draw stabilization system is intended to fight torque at full draw. Obviously, that's where it matters the most. Doesn't matter if it does something like this because you're not drawing the bow anyway. So I really like that about this bow, that full draw stabilization. So SE2 cam, the speeds, what was I able to get out of this? So 36-inch bow, for me, that feels like it's going to be a 3D bow. So I brought out my PS23s that I would shoot for 3D. And what I got is these arrows weigh 372 grains. I have the draw weight set at 58 pounds, 30-inch draw length, and I was able to get 290 feet per second. So in some of those 3D tournaments, there is a built-in speed cap of 300 feet per second. So I'm right there at 290 at 58 pounds. 58 pounds, of course, that's super comfortable for me to draw. I'm not struggling. And to be able to get 290 feet per second, again, on a comfortable cam. This is not the speed cam. This is not the one you're going to use to get those max speeds. So a comfortable bow, set at a lower draw weight, and I'm still right there about at that max speed capacity with my target arrows. Then, as we mentioned, PSE intends this to be a hybrid type bow. They want bow hunters to take this bow out as well. 36 inches, okay, that's kind of on the long side for hunting bows today. You go back 30 years, and the bows we were using for hunting, they were 42 inches. So to have one that's 36 inches, that's not unheard of. But who's going to want that? Why would you want a 36-inch hunting bow? So if you're an eastern tree stand hunter, and your max shot is 20 yards, it's not going to make that big of a difference. But if you're going out west, and you're going to try and make those longer shots, a longer bow is going to perform better for you, especially if you've got those longer draw lengths. If you're 29 inches and above, it's hard to make a good shot with a 28-inch bow if you're shooting out past 60, 70 yards. That's just tough to do. But a 36-inch bow, that's going to be a lot better. And as we mentioned, if you're going to go to a TAC event, Total Archery Challenge, if you're going to shoot 3D, you can have one bow that's going to work there, and it's going to work for you hunting as well. As soon as I shot this bow, the first thing I noticed was that speed. I could just tell these arrows were really humming downrange. And I knew I wasn't pulling, as much weight. I'm not pulling 70 pounds. So I could definitely tell that this thing was shooting fast. And again, that full draw stabilization. It is comfortable at full draw. I can feel the bow is not wanting to wiggle. It holds nice and steady. 36 inches, that's a good length, kind of a happy medium between the super short and the super long, 40-inch target bows. 36 kind of in the middle there. And it's just a great shooting bow. You've got good feedback. It's not flying out of my hand. It's nice and comfortable at the shot, before, during, and after the shot. The 3 phases of shooting a bow. This one was comfortable in all those stages. All right, so that is the PSE Shootdown Pro. Great new hybrid target/hunting bow that just come out from PSE. At the time we are recording this video, we are 5,000 away from 100,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button so you will get notifications whenever we put out videos about new bows, new archery products, whatever it is. We try to get to it all. Hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at lancasterarchery.com.